the Secretariat of Ruby Association. And I am working for the organizing committee of this conference as well. NACL is as an acronym of our company organization, and Matsue has got a headquarters, while in Tokyo we have got a branch in Tokyo. So Ruby is often used as a programming language, but C, C++, and other languages are used as well. Yukihiro-san, Mr. Matsumoto is a fellow in our organization. He has gotten many titles. So when we say that Matsumoto-san, Mr. Matsumoto is in NACL, maybe it's not so clear, but actually he has been working for many years. And right after his joining this, I joined this company. So how am I related to Ruby? Matsumoto-san and I are actually front runners, and so we are committers, but several times in a week and a month, a year, we make a particular commitment to Ruby. We are actually the members of alumni. Goto-san is actually in Tokyo, but his commitment has become lessened recently. So his qualification as committer has expired. Mr. Takao is one of them. Of that nature too. Hara-san, Mr. Hara is there. So he's often taken as a committer, but the truth is that he is not a committer. With regard to the association, Ruby Association and the RubyWorld Conference, Ruby Kaigi, can be identified. And in Mitaka, we have got secondary school student international Ruby programming competition. So we support that program too. So a specification drafting has been done by me. So it is actually the Ruby implementation specification. So we draft and sometimes we are commissioned to prepare the draft and specification and the convention. So in today's presentation, I was wondering how to prepare. Mr. Shibata said that text editor, why not? And so I will talk about the text editor. Shibata-san, and he is not here. I'm sure that he is enjoying his beautiful lunch somewhere outside. So NACL is used by the members of NACL, and what sort of language? So VI type 25% and Emacs 17.9%, and voice code 25%. So VI is more prominent than Emacs and also IV. So they are actually accounting for similar proportions in the total. But Hidemaru is used by some of the members too. So text editors and multiple text editors are used. When we talk about Emacs, and GNU Emacs is one of them, there are various editors in the Emacs and type and category. What is Emacs? Originally, the name of Emacs was editor macros. So editor as a single entity, but macro is considered. It is actually the editor extension purpose. More recently, plug-in has been made available. So sometimes we call it a plug-in, but an editor itself can be extended, which is the largest feature of this resource. And actually GNU Emacs is wonderful one. There's one issue. So actually Emacs RISP is another extension language. So in the case of Ruby, we cannot extend it. That is one shortcoming and also problem. TextWinger is actually the one I created. I created on my own, and perhaps I am the only user. But Ruby written Emacs type. So with Ruby, we can extend it. I was listening to the keynote address by Matsumoto-san, and he was talking about the static. So, but Ruby is actually dynamic. Now, actually, web application development might not be actually the area where we find it. But live object and behaviors can be changed. That is a very important feature of dynamic type. So I would like to show you through my demonstration. Why did I come to this idea? Text Winger's bug was found just recently. So the function was not the one I was using. Therefore, I thought it was too cumbersome to try to correct it. But then this time, I was invited to this stage, so I tried to. So I thought it was a good opportunity for me to try to correct it and modify and change. So I might talk about the C language. Digraph is one of the functions accommodated depending on the environment, and non-existing characters could be used as the alternatives. So this is actually a percent sign is used. In that case, in the C language grammatical analysis, so you can see these parentheses, it would be used as bracket. In the case of TextWink, C's source code indent function is accommodated and made available. This is what you can see. So file editing is now in progress, and the indent can be activated and also managed properly. If you use the brackets, you can have the proper running just as normal one. But the digraph can be used. If you do so, so indent will be deeper than the bracket. So it is very subtle bug. Therefore, I would like to correct it and change it. Let me fix it. So I want to find out and discover the source codes first. So this might be so easy to see, but you can see the bottom line, which is called the mini buffer. The name of the region is mini buffer, in which a command is written, and also so buffer current is actually the one in progress, and so we are editing that at the moment. Mode is another method, and so the current buffer mode can be extracted. So we need to find out that source code. So in the case of implementation of digraph, and I thought I did it before, therefore I trusted that it was going to be okay. Somewhere around here, so tables are provided. It is actually prepared. It is for normalization purpose of various signs. In the hash table, you can find various signs, and then they are actually placed as tokens. And in the hash block, the default is actually specified, indicated. If it is not actually the proper one relevant, you can change the characters one by one. Where is it used? This particular method is almost like the corresponding to the bracket. So here we use it. So the approach to the brackets actually accommodatable. So digraph is used instead of breath. But you can see that those regions where there is any signs, therefore E-net becomes deeper. So inside the C mode, the C languages and the source code is actually analyzed in terms of access. Tokens.push is in here. The name of tokens identified, and also value can be identified. So please look at this text. This is actually corresponding to a token. It is not my ordinary normal keyboard, so I'm struggling about how to handle it. But is it okay? I still miss one bracket, and so buffer. So when the token system is actually manifested, it is replaced with digraph, which I have just mentioned. Therefore, this is what you are going to see. Edit is now ready. So it shows that now it is ready to start editing. It's not so easy to understand, but in this particular example, things are not so too flamboyant. But in the case of actually the static typing, the compiling should be done unless the typing is actually relevant, and you cannot run any program. But in this case, so on the memory, the object behaviors can be changed right away. So as just right away you can actually reach that which can be actually run. Therefore, you can have a lot of joy in the programming. So that is all from me as a presentation for this and a short presentation session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maeda from NACL. Thank you very much for waiting. Next presentation is going to be by Mr. Oba, Relic. Yes, thank you very much. So I would like to just spend a few minutes about our company, business co-creation company Relic, expanding our business into local cities. And then I'm a representative of the city of Relic. My name is Oba. It is very nice to see you. First of all, I would like to give you some overview of the company. Perhaps you haven't heard of this company before. Actually, 2015, we just started the business, and that is a headquarters in Shibuya, Tokyo. And what we do as a business here, this is our vision. The first one, we would like to just run together with challenges, with a high ambition to do business in Japan and outside of Japan. And in a nutshell, we would like to just help them to create businesses. So that is our business. And more specifically, what we do here, this is explanation. We help them to create businesses. In order to do that, we have these three pillars of our businesses. First one is the incubation tech, and the second one is business produce or production, and the third one is open innovation. And about incubation tech, well, that is about kind of a framework or technologies to create new businesses, and we would like to offer that kind of initiatives or technology to them so that they can just start their own businesses more easily and simply. And the second pillar, that is production of a business, that is something like a consultation or product development and others. That is a rather comprehensive support to new startup companies. A third one is open innovation. Relic is maybe an investor or a partner of the company in concern, and then we would like to work together with them to co-create new businesses. That is open innovation. And first, I would like to just explain a little bit more about incubation tech. And here, this is the overall picture of incubation tech. 1, 2, 3. Actually, there are 3 steps we can consider, and for each and all of these steps, we would like to just offer the SaaS product and the services. And the leftist one is a throttle, that is a product name. and idea conceptualization or brushing up and creation of new ideas. I think that is what's happening at the very, very early stage of a business creation. And then this is the third product to just help them to do that. And of course, not just creating or co-creating ideas. Sometimes we want to just work together with other just parties or ask for some comments from outside people as well. And the second one is engine. We offer this product named Engine. Okay, there is some new business, but is that truly feasible and of any value? So this is a kind of a platform to make that kind of evaluation, crowdfunding and e-commerce. That kind of functions or tools are in here. And third one is just a settlement of initial customers. So you may have some initial business, and then of course that need to be just grown, and a battery and a booster. We offer this kind of a product to support them. So through this kind of a group of products of Relic 0 to 1 and 1 to 10. So on this kind of SaaS product, we would like to just support different businesses. Throttle, engine, and battery and booster. Actually, the Ruby or Ruby on Rails are used. And the second one is business production. As I said before, consultation or marketing and others, we do that kind of support, but we support product development as well. And more specifically, the product specific to new business that is developed. And specificity, and what does it mean? That product is there, that is just built, but we would like to just do some follow-up work, working together with engineers and the designer to see the actual successful commercialization of the new business or new business product. And then from design to implementation, we offer different services over this continuum. And then oftentimes you need to be just agile and flexible, and sometimes you would like to just talk with designers or developers. And if you are required to just work together different business entities, that is a little bit complicated and then labor working. So Relic, yes, we would like to just offer everything just over the entire continuum of the business development. So we have about 50 engineers working under Relic, and there are a lot of designers working together with us at Relic as well. So we have a very variety of teams available. And then, as you see here, yes, 1 to 5. If there is a business phase from 1 to 5, Scrum development, the product development, yes, that is a part of our activities. But the prototyping and then the persona designing, actually engineers, our company's designers, engineers can work together with our customers. Particularly prototyping is one of the foresight we have. Why? Because in the later stage of business development, the customers have to develop and complete development products. And then whether this particular product is truly a solution to our end customers, I think we need to be clear what is going to happen in the future. So in order to avoid the kind of risk, engineers may be able to invert from the very early stage of the development and then just brush up the product depending on the true needs and demands of end customers. So that is a process. So more specifically here, we built up a hypothesis and then verification, prototyping, and then user test. So that is a kind of assessment, evaluation, and then coming back to the revision of hypothesis, and then just revise the prototyping. So this is a kind of a cycle we would like to go through again and again to just increase the success probability of the business. Here, this is an example of a prototyping menu, hypothesis, and then the optimal prototyping that is done for existing hypothesis. But prototyping and product development and the designing, and we do a lot of things, and we are all the time in shortage of resources. And in addition to that, as you see on the slide, actually the engineers or designers that work tend to be just concentrating only on metropolitan cities. But at the same time, we can find quite excellent engineers and designers and a new graduate from IT universities and others, but looking for good jobs. That is a reality we see in Japan. So our company, Relic, we would like to just expand our business to local cities and towns as well. At the present moment, there are 7 sites, including Fukuoka, Matsue, Shirahama, and Osaka, and Toyama, and head office of Tokyo. And so each site, they are working on product development and then just working on creation of new businesses together with the customers. And then this September, we decided to just start and open the Matsue Innovation Square here in Matsue City. Why we decided to do something here in Matsue? Because there is a quite large scale of tech community, or Ruby community specifically in Matsue City. And the second reason we decided to come here is that they started the Ruby education from junior high school, and then there is quite a positive aggressive investment into the IT personnel development education as well. And also we can expect quite close collaboration among industry, academia, and the government. And actually there are a lot of just projects which are going on at the present moment in Matsue City. Yeah, this is how we are at the Matsue office. Top one, that is appearance of a building, and then the entrance. Of course, we have some conference room, and then that is quite spacey. Actually, yes, it looks like a kind of a gym space, but we are now only 4 or 5 people working in this kind of a room, so this is quite spacey. So we are now quite active in recruiting new resources, new engineers and designers. And if you're interested in working together with us, why don't you please just make a note of this URL, and why don't you just come and visit our booth later. And then there is no time to get into details, but here we have a booth there, and then actually the books are available, and that is written by our founder of the company, and then that is free. So why don't you please just come and take that book and read when you have the time. Thank you. That's all. Thank you very much.
Mr. Oba, thank you very much. He is from Relic. Thank you. Thank you. Now we are starting the next presentation from GMO Pepabo. The speaker is Ms. Chie Kobayashi. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chie Kobayashi from GMO Pepabo. So Suzuri is the service we provide, and I am an engineer working here. Usually, the Kaigi on Rails and also Ruby Kaigi and Rails Girls Japan are the organizations or the initiatives in which I work. So let me introduce to you GMP Pepabo. We can have more fun, and also the internet will actually be used for enlarging the potential. So based on that mission and vision, we are working. Since 2003, when it was founded, hosting AC support handmade all covered in our individual-oriented internet services, Lollipop, Moom Domain, EC support Karami, and Suzuri and Minne are well known, and we provide those services. If you are aware of that, then I would be very happy about that. Let me talk about an organization in Tokyo, Fukuoka, and so Kagoshima. There are 3 offices, so we are based in those 3 locations. More recently, in Kagoshima, we have been very active. Kagoshima Prefecture and Kagoshima City and Amami City in Kagoshima have been working together. We have got an agreement of coordination so that then we can make some contribution to the revitalization of the local community. In Kagoshima office, and we are actually in reinforcing the activities for the adoption. And also, we are recruiting people. If you are thinking about coming to Kagoshima, or if you are a resident of Kagoshima, we would be more than happy to welcome you. And there is a booth in this conference, and could you please speak to our members when you find them in the booth? Let me discuss and explain about the engineering organization. We have got a division organization. Security Countermeasure Office is one of them. So CTO Anchipo-san is actually the head. So you can see his picture. And just the other day, Ken-chan is actually the vice president of engineering at the moment. Last month, so the organization was renewed. So in the new organization, we are working. So Pepabo is our name. Could you please continue your support? Now let me talk about the Suzuri API. So I am the engineer of Suzuri API. So I would like to introduce to you the service called Suzuri. So you take pictures, don't you? And so sometimes you draw illustration. You can upload them. So you can actually create an original item from one piece. There are more than 50 items which are available. Suzuri has got an API actually. Not so many people know that, but the API is there. So when you plan to create something new product and also read the product and the data, you can do that. So very basic functions are accommodated by using this API. Uchinoko Omeka is actually now provided. So you can see the various illustrations of cats. You can draw them. So you use your own drawn cat and a picture. Then you can actually do the purchasing shopping activities and as you like. This is very so much fun, and it is very easy to create. So API based on item creation is so much fun. So I would like to introduce you to what it is about. So this is Kinako. So my icon itself, and I would like to create an application key holder. I am an engineer. So the image processing application, I don't use it, but I actually do the image processing on command. So image magic is used. So step 0 is image magic. And Ruby is to be installed. Ruby is essential. Step 1, the image should be prepared. By using image magic, and you can create those images. According to my icon, there is a background. Therefore, from the background, we would like to actually carve out the dogs. So mask image is to be created through this command. Then the mask image is superimposed with the original. Therefore, in the mask image, that actually particular object is carved out. So this is what we do. Then Kinako, the name of my icon dog, is actually clearly represented like that. Step 2. API token is also necessary for this process. So token capturing is very easy. A Suzuri account, you should open that. You don't have to bother any application. Then you can actually capture and use as a token. Then in the next stage, a posting of the Suzuri, and then you can create another key holder. there are materials and which are called URLs, and the posting is done through that. So you can see this, and so it is not a complicated writing at all. If you implement it, then you will be surely be satisfied. It is a straightforward and a simple process, and the HTTP, HTTP is used for hosting, and a token and the parameters are actually given. Just that's all that you have done. Then as a result, so without processing anything about the screen, and you could actually create item on Suzuri. So I have gotten this actually key holder. So you might be quite interested in that image and also photo. Please do come to the booth. I will show you what it is like. Twitter icon can be actually made cookies, and also I carry it, and it is very, very attractive in the conference when you meet people. So please make your own key holder. Not only Suzuri, Karami Shop and also does have got an API. By using API, such an fun can be obtained. So Pepabo might be attracting your attention. Please do come to the booth, and I would like to have a short discussion and some dialogue with you. I would be very happy if I can do that today. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. So this is the final part. And so in Kagoshima and also in other locations, we are trying to recruit new members. So please do respond to that, and we will be very, very happy if we can have you in our organization. Ms. Kobayashi, thank you very much for your presentation. She is from the GMO Pepabo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker is Mr. Yuudai Takada from ANDPAD Inc. Thank you very much. My title is Love Ruby, Love Race, Love ANDPAD. Let me introduce myself first of all. My name is Yuudai Takada. I'm working as a software engineer at ANDPAD Inc. My account is YDAH, so you can just read this as WIDA. I now use Ruby on Rails for my work, and I'm engaged in open source software programming as a hobby. And I send patch to Robocop. I expect I was born and raised in Osaka. I live in Osaka right now. I love beer, coffee, and heavy metal. I'm very happy to be with you today. This is the outline of our company. The headquarters of the company is located in Akihabara, Tokyo. We have offices in Osaka, Fukuoka, and Sendai. The company was established in September 2011. Our mission is to contribute to happiness to those who make people happy. Architecture and construction industry can make people happy. And we would like to contribute to happiness to those who make people happy with the power of technology. So we want to make people who actually work hard for happiness, and that is the mission of our company. This is our business. We are a cloud service company specialized in architecture construction industry. And ANDPAD is a number one share cloud-type construction project management service for consolidated management from construction site to the management of the company. Now I would like to talk about this topic, Ruby, Rails, ANDPAD. And I'm one of the persons who was fascinated by Ruby. However, I have not used Ruby for a long time. I'm rather new to Ruby. I joined development contractor in Osaka as a new hire immediately finishing college, and I was using C and C++ to work on the control and the building system. When I look back my encounter with Ruby in Osaka, Kansai Ruby Kaigi 06 was held. That was the time I first met Ruby. And I think that was an event held in 2015 or so. This was my first year after finishing the college. This was a big event held in Osaka, and I was fortunate enough to participate in that meeting. And I listened to the presentation of those who work with Ruby, developers and programmers, and those who work with Ruby. So I thought it's fun. I start programming with using Ruby, and it was fun, and I could write programming without any stress, and I had a hope to do work with Ruby. That was my hope back then. There was a turning point for me. It came some time ago. I was assigned to the project of web application in the past several years, and that was the opportunity for me to think about my future career course. So I thought I wanted to focus on web application development, and if possible, I wanted to do the work using Ruby and Ruby Rails. So that was my thought about future. And when my son was born, I decided to change jobs. My son was born in September last year, and when I knew that a baby is coming, I thought I should change job, and I wanted to do something. And probably this is also one of the reasons why I joined the ANDPAD, because I have been thinking about using Ruby for my work, and I wanted to be involved in the product manufacturing, which can make children's generation happier. So I think food and housing and clothes, three are very important elements of the people's living, and living, that is housing, is very important element for our life. And in order to contribute to people who are working in the area of the living, housing, that's how I can contribute to the future generation. And that's the reason why I joined the ANDPAD. And because of that, I actually faced a lot of changes in my life. So this is a word by Isaac Newton. I think this was true when I think about my experience. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Like predecessors, discoveries and inventions are very important basis for us, and we could learn a lot of things through accumulation of thoughts of the predecessors and the seniors. And so I now could visualize our future, and that is a kind of the finding I couldn't get by myself. So I now had a wider vision. When I look back myself, I was just in charge of the product I work, and that was everything I was concentrated on. However, the product I work for is not everything. That was just the tip of the iceberg. So I think I should take a look at the whole picture. As to Ruby's, Rails and Ruby gems and product code, there are no borderlines among them. Everything is a continuum, and everything is what we should love. And these are all valuable for us. My title is Love ANDPAD. Let me explain this wording. This is one of our 6 values of our company, ANDPAD. We embrace these 6 values, love ANDPAD, and we should nurture and develop ANDPAD. And philosophy of ANDPAD should be communicated to users and customers. And we should be able to communicate about ANDPAD. And there's no borderlines. So ANDPAD is not everything. So ANDPAD actually exists, consisting of open source software and other things, and everything is now incorporated in ANDPAD. So we should love everything. So that's the reason why we came up with the title of Love Ruby, Love Rails, and Love ANDPAD. when I look back my past, OSS was one of my hobby, and I was a stranger to OSS for a long time. I was very scared, and I thought probably my capability was not good enough to work on OSS. I wanted to do it, but I was just thinking I couldn't start actually my action. I changed. I think my mindset changed after joining the ANDPAD. This is my first patch transmitted to OSS. In April this year, the Robocop, which was used on the ANDPAD, didn't work well, so I actually made a patch. And it was fun, and it was so fulfilling for me. And I found myself transmitting patches continually. That's what's doing in my daily life. So I think it's a kind of the routine work. Like a cook sharpens a knife every day, I do this kind of activity as a kind of the routine thing. One thing I would like to note is that the code I wrote is actually running. Then I began to like writing code more and borderlines gone. However, there's something unchanged. I'm not a genius engineer. I'm not a genius, although I can send patches to OSS, and it is still less than 1 year since I'm using Ruby in my work. So I still need to do a lot of work for improvement. Through trials and errors, I have accumulated my experience and career. To carry on is valuable. So when asked do or don't, I will do. I always want to make action, and I want to take a proactive attitude all the time. I'm now thinking why I have changed my mindset that way. Because I enjoy writing Ruby code, and that is my instinct. Because of the instinct, I really enjoy working with Ruby. This is my favorite word. So I want to keep working on Ruby. I want to keep writing Ruby, and this is just for fun. And as a company for ANDPAD, we would like to continue this kind of work over a long time. Thank you very much. This has been Mr. Yuudai Takada of ANDPAD Inc. Thank you very much, Mr. Takada. With this, RubyWorld Conference 2022 Ruby Platinum sponsor short presentation is completed. Please enjoy the rest of the programs of the RubyWorld Conference 2022. Thank you.